South America is a land rich in culture, history, and breathtaking landscapes, but it's also home to some of the most fascinating and terrifying legends ever told. Across this vast continent, indigenous peoples have passed down stories of mythical creatures that blur the line between reality and imagination. These creatures are not just figments of folklore, they are deeply tied to the land and its people, embodying themes of respect for nature, warnings against greed, and the mysteries of the unknown. The legends of these creatures are woven into the very fabric of South American culture, reflecting the values, fears, and hopes of the people. From the Amazonian rainforests to the Andean highlands, each region has its own unique tales, often serving as moral lessons or explanations for natural phenomena. These stories have been preserved through oral traditions, art, and ceremonies, ensuring that the wisdom and wonder of these creatures continue to inspire and educate future generations. Today, we'll explore some of the most legendary creatures of South America, beings that have captured imaginations for centuries and continue to hold a significant place in the cultural and historical tapestry of the continent. Let's begin in the heart of the Amazon rainforest with the Mapinguari, one of the most fearsome creatures in Brazilian folklore. The Mapinguari is described as a massive beast covered in shaggy fur with a single eye in the center of its forehead and a gaping mouth on its stomach. It roams the rainforest on all fours, but can also stand upright, towering over any human who dares to trespass on its territory. The Mapinguari is said to emit an unbearable stench that disorients its victims before it attacks. Some believe this creature is more than just a myth. It could be a folkloric memory of the giant ground sloth, an animal that roamed South America thousands of years ago. But for many indigenous communities in Brazil, the Mapinguari is much more than a relic. It's a guardian of the rainforest, punishing those who exploit its resources without respect. Legends say the Mapinguari has impenetrable skin, making it invulnerable to arrows and bullets. Stories from local tribes recount encounters where the creature's roar was so loud it echoed through the jungle, instilling fear in all who heard it. Some tales even describe the Mapinguari as a shapeshifter, capable of blending into its surroundings to ambush its prey. Notable encounters include hunters who have come face to face with the beast only to flee in terror, convinced they had seen a demon. These stories and artifacts continue to fuel the legend of the Mapinguari, a creature that remains an enduring symbol of the mysteries hidden within the Amazon rainforest. From Brazil's dense jungles, we move to the rivers and lakes where another legendary creature resides, Yacumama, or Mother of Water. This enormous serpent is said to inhabit the depths of Amazonian waterways, devouring anything that comes within 100 feet of it. According to local folklore, Yacumama is believed to be the mother of all aquatic life, a guardian of the waters. Her origins are deeply rooted in the mythology of the indigenous tribes, who see her as a powerful deity. Fishermen blow conch shells before entering the water to ward off Yacumama's wrath, a tradition still practiced in some regions today. The legend serves as both a cautionary tale about respecting nature's power and a reminder of how deeply connected indigenous cultures are to their environment. Rituals often involve offerings and prayers to Yacumama, seeking her blessing and protection for safe passage and bountiful catches. These practices highlight the reverence and respect the local people have for the Mother of Water, embodying their harmonious relationship with nature. Traveling further south to Chile's Andean lakes, we encounter El Cuero, or the cowhide. This bizarre creature resembles a large piece of leathery skin floating on the water's surface, with eyes on stalks and a mouth filled with sharp teeth. But don't be fooled, it's a deadly predator. El Cuero lures unsuspecting victims close, before wrapping them in its body and dragging them underwater to feast on their blood. According to local myths, El Cuero has been a feared entity for centuries. Stories tell of fishermen and villagers who vanished mysteriously, believed to have fallen prey to this creature. Some believe this legend may have been inspired by sightings of freshwater stingrays native to the region. Regardless of its origins, El Cuero remains one of South America's most chilling myths, a reminder that even serene lakes can hide dark secrets. Now let's step into Colombia's forests to meet La Madremonte, or Mother Mountain. She is often depicted as a ghostly woman, draped in moss and leaves, wandering through the wilderness with glowing eyes and an eerie wail that strikes fear into anyone who hears it. Like other legendary beings such as Ireland's Banshee or Mexico's La Llorona, La Madremonte serves as both a warning and a protector, punishing those who disrespect her forest while guiding lost travelers back to safety if they show reverence for nature. In local culture, La Madremonte is deeply respected and feared. Her presence is a reminder of the power and mystery of nature. Stories of her powers include the ability to control the weather, summon storms, and even cause landslides to protect her domain. One famous legend tells of a group of loggers who ignored the warnings and ventured deep into her forest. They were never seen again, and it is said that La Madremonte took them as a punishment for their disrespect. Another tale speaks of a lost traveler who, after showing reverence to the forest, was guided back to safety by a mysterious woman believed to be La Madremonte herself. These stories continue to be passed down through generations, keeping the legend of La Madremonte alive and reminding people of the sacredness of nature. In Paraguay and Argentina, we find tales of Curupira, another forest guardian but with quite an unusual appearance. Bright red hair and feet that face backward, the Curupira uses its backward footprints to confuse hunters and loggers who try to harm the jungle's flora and fauna. Indigenous communities often leave offerings for Curupira in hopes of gaining its favor or avoiding its wrath, a practice that highlights how deeply rooted these legends are in daily life and environmental stewardship. Legends describe Curupira as a fierce protector of the forest, punishing those who exploit its resources. Notable encounters often tell of hunters being led astray by its backward footprints, never to return. Some stories even speak of glowing eyes in the dark, watching over the forest with an almost supernatural presence. Moving into Peru's highlands brings us face to face with Pistaco, one of South America's most unsettling figures. This creature is said to resemble a pale-skinned man who preys on travelers at night, killing them to harvest their body fat for magical or economic purposes. Pistaco embodies fears rooted in colonial oppression. Its image, shaped by centuries of exploitation endured by indigenous peoples at the hands of outsiders. The origins of Pistaco can be traced back to the time of the Spanish conquest, where tales of white men stealing fat from the indigenous people began to circulate. In local folklore, Pistaco is often used as a cautionary tale to warn against trusting outsiders. Rituals and traditions have evolved to protect against Pistaco, including the use of protective amulets in community gatherings to ward off evil spirits. Even today, the legend of Pistaco remains a powerful symbol of the enduring impact of colonialism on indigenous communities. But not all South American legends are terrifying. Some are deeply symbolic and even uplifting. Take El Dorado, for example, a myth originating from Colombia's Muisca people about a golden chief who submerged himself in Lake Guatavita during sacred ceremonies. Over time, this story evolved into tales of an entire city made of gold, a legend so powerful it drove Spanish conquistadors on fruitless quests across jungles and mountains in search of untold riches. El Dorado represents humanity's eternal pursuit of wealth, but also serves as a cautionary tale about greed and obsession. The legend of El Dorado has been depicted in numerous ancient maps and documents, often showing the city in various locations across South America. Myths describe El Dorado as a city with golden temples and streets where the inhabitants lived in prosperity and harmony. Many explorers faced immense hardships in their quest for El Dorado, often battling harsh environments and unknown territories. Significant tales and sightings have led to numerous archaeological digs around Lake Guatavita, where artifacts have been found, fueling the legend even further. To this day, the legend of El Dorado continues to captivate the imagination of modern-day explorers and historians alike. Another heartwarming story comes from Paraguay's Guarani people. The Moon and the Rabbit tells how a brave rabbit sacrificed itself to save the moon from hunters attacking her in human form. Touched by its courage, the moon lifted the rabbit into the sky as an eternal symbol of bravery and kindness. A tale still told today when people gaze at the moon's surface. In Guarani culture, the moon and the rabbit symbolize the values of selflessness and protection. Their story is often shared during festivals and gatherings, reminding the community of the importance of bravery and kindness. The legend has inspired various forms of art, from storytelling and music to dance and visual arts, making it a cornerstone of Guarani heritage. The moon and the rabbit continue to be celebrated, their tale a timeless reminder of the virtues that bind the Guarani people together. Finally, we return to Chile with Kaikai Vilu and Tenten Vilu, two mythical sea serpents whose epic battle created the Kailoe archipelago according to local lore. Kaikai Vilu, the serpent of the waters, symbolizes chaos and destruction, causing floods and storms. Tenten Vilu, the serpent of the earth, represents order and protection, raising land to save people from floods. According to legend, their battle was so fierce that it reshaped the land, creating the islands of Chiloe. Stories tell of Kaikai's wrath, submerging villages, and Tenten's heroism, lifting the land to form safe havens. These creatures are revered in local folklore, embodying the eternal struggle between chaos and order. South America's legendary creatures are more than just stories. They reflect profound truths about humanity's relationship with nature, community values like bravery or humility, and historical struggles against exploitation or destruction. Creatures like El Tunchi, La Llorona, and El Chupacabra are woven into the fabric of South American folklore, serving as cautionary tales and moral lessons passed down through generations. Preserving these stories is crucial, not just for cultural heritage, but also for understanding the deep connection between people and their environment. Could these myths hold kernels of truth, or are they simply reflections of our fears and hopes? Follow Adventure Seeker's Paradise for more incredible journeys into history and legend.